Hello everyone, this is Jasmine. I am also known as Bubbles on Ice. You can find me on my YouTube channel, you can find me on Tumblr, and you can also find me on Patreon. All my info are listed in my bio. On my YouTube channel, I normally post celebrity readings just for fun. Uh, I used to take requests from people and do a reading for their favorite celebrities. When it comes to my Patreon account, I try to be a little bit more professional there. I do personal readings, I do guided meditation. I teach people also how to work with tarot cards, how to work with the pendulum, how to work with oracle cards, and so on and so on. You will find more detailed information on my Patreon account. Everything about my accounts are listed in my bios, so just take a look. For every one of you who are completely new to my channel, I want to wish you a very warm welcome from the bottom of my heart. I hope that you like my content and that you will consider giving me a subscribe. And please join my Patreon account as well. You can be a free member as well as a paid member. Today's videos is just a little bit of a teaser to show you what a paid membership in Patreon can have access to. Because I teach tarot readings as well as I teach oracle readings and the pendulum use, as I say. So today, this is lesson number 1. I'm going to talk a little bit about the basics of tarot, and I'm going to teach you how to choose a deck. Let's start with first thing first. You know, there are a lot of varieties out there, so if you are a complete new beginner, I totally understand that you might get a little bit confused. What are tarot cards and what are oracle cards? What are wisdom cards and whatnot? Because there are so many decks to choose from nowadays. Whether you are a fan of Alice in Wonderland or you are a fan of Star Wars, you will find cards that illustrate the things that you like. And you also can find different types of cards. You can find cards for the purpose of manifestation. You can find cards that are typical for romance readings. You can find cards that are that the purpose is to tell you, to give you some kind of a timestamp about when something is gonna happen. But I like to use the original tarot cards the most. Don't get me wrong, because I do own like 20 different decks, because me too, I sometimes, fall for very beautiful images on cards, and I do like to try out different decks of cards. But there is a difference between oracle reading and tarot reading. But also within the tarot cards, you can find a lot of varieties, as I say. But there is the original type, and I'll show you here. The original type looks like this, and it is called the Rider Tarot deck. Now, why do I say that this is the original type? Because this is a deck that is well, a little bit history is tarot cards used to be just normal playing cards. It used to be a parlor game in France and Italy. It was not until people start to look at the images and started to, you know, interpret them, and something changed, and people started using them to predict different occasions. These cards are very typical. Um, they are they are they are made by a man called Arthur Edward White, which is why the tarot cards are called the Rider White Tarot deck. And I'll just show you, if it's hard to look at the small box here, I'll show you the big one. That's how it looks like. And the pictures and the images are illustrated by a woman called Pamela Coleman Smith. Now, this is the original tarot deck. You will find the images in a lot of other tarot websites because they look the same. They look the same whether you buy it in France, or if you buy it in England, or if you buy it anywhere else. As I say, you can find tarot cards that has, you know, other themes like Alice in Wonderland. You can buy tarot cards that are illustrated as witchcraft, or yeah, anything about anything. I think you can even find cards that has like Hello Kitty themes. So it's just up to everyone's interest. But this is the original cards that I'm showing you, and those are the cards that I am using as well. That's just a little bit about the original, cards and the images of them. If you want to learn tarot from scratch, I would really recommend you to get the Rider's deck, because it is easier for you to understand the images that is shown mostly on a lot of websites, a lot of online courses as well, if you are taking several lessons elsewhere. But I'm not saying that you must get this deck, because if you go to a shop and you find a deck that you are especially attracted to, if you feel a very strong connection to a deck, and you feel that, oh, this deck is very beautiful, I feel strong energy connected with this deck, then go for that deck. You don't have to have the original tarot deck. I'm just saying that it is easier if you are a beginner to have a deck like this, so that you can learn about the basics of the tarot. But you always have to go for what you feel attracted to, what your energies are telling you to get. You can also get, as a beginner, you can also get, decks like this. Just a very simple deck containing the same images as the Rider Tarot deck, but with keywords. This is a tool that new beginners can use, because it is hard to remember every card. I remember myself when I started learning the tarot, I was so confused about what the meanings are behind every card. But if you use something like this, something that has keywords on them, it makes it much easier. And you can see here, it's the same images as because they use the Rider Tarot deck as the base, and then they added the keywords. So this is an easy way to start as a tarot reader as well. Now, when you go to a shop, and you find maybe a deck that you're interested in, I will recommend you to ask the shop owner to give you a sample so that you can, you know, feel the cards, because the qualities, there are many qualities out there. Some cards are, you know, just easy to shuffle. They are nice to, you know, hold in your hand, and they don't bend and break easily. And also you can be able to see the images much better. Now, why do I say that you should ask for the sample? Because as a tarot reader, now I'm just speaking for myself. I don't speak for everyone, because as tarot readers we are very different. But most tarot readers are very mindful when it comes to their tarot decks. They don't want people touching their decks. They want to be the only one who are in charge of their cards. That has something to do with the energy that they want to connect with their cards. They don't want other people's energy, you know, merging into their cards. So that's why I am very mindful. I never let anyone touch my cards. I know that there are some tarot readers who let their you know, people who come to them who wants a reading, they let them cut the deck and stuff like that. As I say, it is very individual. Everyone does it in different ways, but I am very mindful when it comes to my cards. I don't let anyone touch my cards. They are my property, and I am very mindful with how I treat my cards, how I cleanse them, where I put them, which I will teach you a little bit about later on in further lessons. There is also a myth. There is also a myth that as a tarot reader, you should never buy your own deck. Now, the myth says that you should always use a deck that has been given to you as a gift. Now, guys, I don't agree to that, because it's not logical at all. Because if I have to wait for someone to give me a deck, I would have never been a tarot reader. No one has ever gifted me a deck in my whole life. I always have to buy my own cards. So that is only just a myth. Just a myth, but you know, in old days they actually believed that to be able to be a tarot reader, to be able to use your cards correctly, your cards have to be gifted to you. Now that's not the case. Okay, so back to our cards. This is my tarot deck that I use the most. As I told you, I have over 20 different kind of decks, both tarot decks and oracle decks, and a lot other kind of cards. Now be mindful, be sure you know what tarot decks are and what are other kinds of cards, because there are differences. You have angel cards, you have healing cards, you have cosmic cards, you have what else? Wisdom cards. There are a lot of different types now. You can find cards for everything, and sometimes they come in very shiny boxes that looks so pretty, and sometimes they come in a variety of other equipment together with the cards. So of course we get very excited, and we think that, you know, just because of the images and everything, and I myself do the same. I am attracted to a lot of the beautiful images a lot of the times. But for me, still, my original tarot cards are the cards that I trust most. I work with them the most. Now, a tarot card deck consists of 78 cards. 78. Other card decks, oracle cards, wisdom cards, whatever, can be a variety of different type of numbers. They are completely different from tarot decks, so don't mix them up. A tarot card deck has 78 cards. And the cards are divided into 5 sections. You have the 4 suits. It's just like playing cards, because I did told you that for a long time ago, in many centuries ago, in France and Italy, it started off as a parlor game. So these were originally playing cards. So they were divided in suits. You will find the cups, the wands, the swords, and the pentacles. Now it is not very different from our normal card games. We have, you know, hearts and spade and I actually don't know what it's called in English, but you know, and in every suit you will find a king. You will find, oh sorry, here I had one ready here. You will find a king, you will find a queen, you will find a knight, but you will also find a page. And then you will find 10, the numbers up here, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the ace. Now that is the same for all 4. And each of these suits represents something. Like the cups, they represent emotions and feelings. So the cups normally, you know, deal with matters of love, romance, relationships, connections. Whilst, for example, the pentacles always deal with issues like financial issues, material goods, and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into details now because this is going to come in further lessons. This is just to show you the basics of the tarot card. So we have the 4 suits, but in addition, we also have 22 other cards. Now the suits here, they are called the minor arcana, whilst the rest of the cards are called the major arcana. The major arcana looks a little bit different than the suit cards. They have a number on the top and they have a name on the bottom. Now this is number 0. We start from 0 to 21 when it comes to the major arcana cards. Now this is the Fool. And if you see the next one, you'll see the Magician, which has the number 1. And you have the name there, the Magician. And so on and so on. You have number 2, the High Priestess. So here are the major arcana cards. Now the major arcana cards represent something life-changing. They are major cards. Most of the time they represent something very life-changing, very Like, for example, this fool here, um, he is about to go on a new journey. He is going into the unknown. So this is life changing. Someone is starting something new, but at the same time, they don't know what is coming for them. They have no idea, but they are very optimistic. Now, I'm going to teach you how to read the cards later on in other future lessons, but just as a little bit of an example, I'll show you. If you look at the image of the fool here, look at the image of him. You see this young man. You know that this is about a young person. This is about a naive person. When you're young, you are unexperienced. You are a little bit gullible. You are a little bit naive. It doesn't mean that the person is young, but you know, the mentality of this person is naive and gullible and, you know, very adventurous. He just barges forward. He is walking into the unknown. He doesn't calculate the consequences. He is about to walk off a cliff and he doesn't listen to warning. You see that the dog is trying to warn him. He is not listening to any warning. And he's definitely going on an adventure because you see that he has packed for his trip. And he is generally very happy. He's holding a flower. He's very optimistic about this. But we don't really know, will he stop before he fall off the cliff? Or will he continue so that he will fall deep? We don't know. So this is a card about someone walking into the unknown, not knowing, not calculating the consequences, not hearing other people trying to warn them. So this is just an example how to read a card. Now back to this major arcana cards. As I say, they are cards that represent something life-changing. Now in further lessons, we are going to dig deep into each and every card so that we can learn the meaning of them. Some tarot readers read only using the major arcana and they don't use the suits. They don't use the minor arcana cards. Most of us use all of the cards, but there are some, you will find some tarot readers who only use this 22 cards for the readings. So just a heads up. Now, when it comes to tarot reading, normally you have, if you look at one of these cards that I showed you from the beginner's deck, you will see that there are keywords both on the upright side and on the reverse side, because there are several ways to read the tarot cards. Some tarot readers choose to read cards only in the upright position, because this is the basic way. And this is what we are going to learn first and foremost. We are not going to take the reversed position because that is a little bit more advanced. That will be in the advanced lessons. So some tarot readers will read cards only in the upright position and never reversed. Whilst others, you will see that they do readings of cards both upright and reversed, because they do have different meanings. So this is the basic of a tarot card deck. As I say, this is the original deck. It is a simple yet very powerful tool. It used to be, a parlor game for many, many centuries ago, but then it developed into a tool that people use for reading tarot cards and predicting things. If you have followed me for a while and you have watched my videos, you might always hear me say that my cards are never wrong, but my interpretation might be incorrect. Now, why do I say that? Why do I say that? That is because a lot of people misunderstand the meaning of tarot. They believe that the ones reading the tarot cards are the ones predicting the future. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. If you ask me what is going to happen with this or that, I don't have the answer. I cannot provide you that because I cannot predict the future. But I can use my cards because they are my tools. They are the ones who are giving you the answer, who are giving the predictions. And these are the tools I need to use in order to be able to answer your questions. And the only way I can do it is to interpret the cards the best that I could. So sometimes I can also be wrong because I might not interpret the cards correctly. That is why it is important when you watch my videos and see me doing a reading, I show you the cards, because then you also will be able to interpret the cards maybe a little bit differently with some other point of views than me. But with tarot, when you are more experienced, when you are mindful when it comes to how you treat your tarot cards, how you treat the energies around you, how you cleanse your cards and how you cleanse your own aura, and how to use your intuition, you will get better and better at how to interpret your cards, and you will be surprised. You will be surprised how accurate a lot of the times using the cards will help you to find different answers to your questions. So it is all about practicing, and I am here to assist you. So this is the very first lesson about the basics of the tarot and how you can choose your own deck. I wish you a lot of luck, and welcome back to lesson 2 later on, and we'll take a look at how to cleanse a deck.